Good morning. I decided to wait until I got to the office to come and say hi. Happy Friday. So we're going to shift gears over the weekend. I'm going to cover what we in the Tony world call the six human needs. And the six human needs is a filter of sorts. It's a way to learn why we do what we do, why human beings do what we do. My encouragement on this Friday is in order to be successful in life in anything, you cannot just go it alone. You have to learn how to interact with other people and get help. People that try to do everything by themselves are not successful and do not work. The most successful people are great at surrounding themselves with people who are very talented and who share their vision. And they'll be the first to tell you that the people that surround them are way smarter than they are. I'll be the first to tell you that. The people that I work with, they are incredible, and any success that I might have in my life is due to the people that I work with, and not so much because of me. So whatever it is that you want to accomplish in life, you got to learn how to interact with people. You got to learn how to connect with people, and you got to learn to understand what makes them tick so that you can motivate them, connect with them, learn what it is that they want so that you can deliver it. I mean, let's face it, it's not a great idea to look at everything as transactional, but at the end of the day, the best way to model somebody is to learn from them how they did what they did. So let's say you want to create, a successful law practice. Okay, well, one of the best ways to do that is to go find people who have created successful law practices and learn from them what they did. Well, how do you get them to interact with you? Well, one of the best ways is to learn what motivates them and what are their needs and deliver their needs to them first, create value first, and then you're a lot more likely to get what you're looking for in return. That's true with anybody that's doing any sales. Create value first. Give value first. That's the whole idea with the internet now is advertising isn't here's my thing, buy my thing. Advertising is I'm going to give you value, and then when you need what I have to offer, then hopefully you'll come back and seek that information out for me. So the six human needs, which I will go over tomorrow and Sunday. So if you want to learn about the six human needs, we'll do three of them tomorrow and we'll do three of them on Sunday, is a filter for learning how to interact with people and learning how to find out what it is that people want, why they do what they do, and how to respond to that. My encouragement for today is to understand that you are not going to be able to do this going it alone, that you're going to have to go find other people to help you along your journey of success, whatever that is. Whether it's your health, whether it's your business and your finances, whether it's relationships, whether it's your intimate relationship, you're going to need to learn how to connect with people and how to get their help. When you're doing that, it is my recommendation that you pick a filter and become great at it to learn how to interact with people. So what do I mean by a filter? Well, there's lots of them. Because I am, part of the Tony world, I use the six human needs. Myer-Briggs, the Myer-Briggs personality profile test is a wonderful, incredibly accurate and detailed way to learn why people do what they do. If you're a high I versus this versus that, then you're going to react in different ways. That's another filter that I use. When somebody new comes and works for me, we do the Myers-Briggs test and we share it with everybody and we sit down and talk about it so we can learn what motivates that person. My daughter is spectacular at this test. She does that for me with regards to, when I'm interacting with people. I'll say, hey, and I'll tell her about the person and she'll say, well, that person's a this. So this is what motivates them. There's also there's also one that determines whether or not you're wood or you're fire or you're metal or you're, that one was originally, it's originally from the East, and then it was used a lot for kids. And if you Google that, I'm sure that it will pop up, but that's one of a filter that you could use. Obviously, if you're into yoga like my wife, then you can learn about doshas, and you can learn the Ayurvedic filter as to why people do what they do. Are you wind? Are you fire? What are you in terms of that whole idea? Every culture has got its filter that it's developed, and they all work. They're all great. So pick one that resonates with you, because they all function fine. Actually, they do better than fine. They all function really, really well, and become an expert at it. Study it. Make it something that you are so familiar with that it becomes innate, that it becomes something that you just do automatically, that it just happens, that you know immediately when you meet somebody, here's what motivates this particular person. And I'm going to teach you the 6 human needs tomorrow and Sunday. And if that resonates with you and that's what you want to use, great. But if you like Myer-Briggs, or if you like some of these others, then use that. My wife doesn't use the 6 human needs. She uses doshas. And that's how she talks about people. She's like, well, that person's a fire, that person's a wind. And so here's what motivates them. Here's how they're going to perceive the world. Because we all have our own filters that we use to perceive the world. And if all you're doing is trying to place your filter on top of everybody else, it's not going to work. Because not everybody else interacts the way that you do, and not everybody is motivated the way that you are. And so you're going to connect with some of the people, about a third, 20% to 33%, but you're going to miss the rest. And it's going to be really difficult to achieve the outcomes that you want if you're only connecting with a small number of people. And I know with the younger generation, this is much more of a challenge, because they try to connect through words only. They try to do it simply by emails and texting or messaging on some other platform. Here's the challenge with that. Words are 7% of our communication. 93% of our communication is nonverbal. 93% comes from verbal cues and body language. So it's not the word, it's how you say the word, and it's your body language, how you respond. So the problem with trying to text and DM and email and all of that stuff, if you're just exchanging information, that's fine. I'm going to be 10 minutes late. The meeting starts at 12:30. Fine. But if you're trying to have a serious conversation and you're doing it simply through words, that is incredibly difficult. There's a reason that over the last couple thousand years, great writers have been celebrated, because it's so hard to do. It is so hard to communicate through the written word alone. And most of them that are successful do it over long periods of time, meaning they do it in a novel or a series of novels. They don't do it in one paragraph. Anybody that's written anything in one paragraph or 2 paragraphs that's been powerful speaks it. So like the Gettysburg Address is only a few paragraphs, but Abraham Lincoln didn't write that and then mail it to everybody. He got up and spoke it. So you need to learn how to connect with people, and you need to do that in a personal way. And it can be over the phone. Phone works. Video's better. In person is best. But when you're doing that, you're going to need to know what motivates this person. Why do they do what they do? Because if they're not responding the way that you would respond, that's going to just create frustration and confusion. So instead of getting frustrated and confused, if you learn one of these filters, then you can go, because when you get really good at it, it'll happen automatically. Then you can go, oh, this is why this person's operating this way. So then you'll be able to say, okay, so in order for me to communicate with this person in a way that's going to make sense, here's what I have to do. And then you'll be able to connect with them, and now you're going to be able to communicate, and they're going to get from you what they need, and you're going to be able to get from them what you need. This is true with your significant other. This is true with your kids. This is true with your in-laws. This is true with your boss. This is true with your coworkers. This is true with the people that you hang out with on the weekend. You learn a system. So pick one. Over the next 2 days, tomorrow and Sunday, I'm going to teach you the 6 human needs. That's our Tony Robbins filter. If it resonates, great. If it doesn't, find another one, but make sure you find one that works and becomes part of how you operate daily. Study it, study it, study it, so it becomes part of the unconscious mind. So, going to say hi to everybody. Mr. Drehobel down in Florida. Brian, good to see you, brother. Are you sitting in a deer stand right now? Deanne, great to see you. Chuck, thank you so much for being on here live. And my cousin Chrissy out in Boston, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I truly appreciate it. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.